What's up, internet? Today we're going to talk about my brand new Grand Design Imagine XLS 24 MPR. I just bought this camper probably about 2 months ago, maybe a little more than 2 months ago. Hasn't been very long, but I've had some real issues with it. And this is my third camper. I had an old, it was an old wilderness from like the earlier 2000s. I got rid of a few years ago. And then I moved into a Springdale by Keystone, a 2018. I had that for a couple years, and I sold that and bought this. And I haven't had any of these problems with my other campers that are supposed to not be as good a brand as Grand Design. So I'm going to show you a couple things that I've had issues with. For one, we'll start. This is my water heater. From day one, the electric on this water heater has not worked. It's supposed to be electric. Now this is a lot fancier than my other water heaters, but I'm familiar with them. The electric on this has not worked from day one. If you put it in electric mode, it says it's on, but it doesn't do anything. Hasn't since I bought this camper, and it's supposed to. The element's in there. It's got some kind of relay in there, but I've never gotten that to work. The other problem is the propane doesn't work. So the first time I ever tried it, the propane worked. When I went on my first camping trip, I had no propane. It would try and fire, and it would start, and it would turn on the propane here and blow through the flue. But it would only run for about 3 seconds, and it would shut back off. And then it would start again and blow propane through the flue, and it would only run for a few seconds, and then it would shut off. And then eventually my DSI light would come on inside the camper. And I'd come out here, I'd unplug the control board and plug that back in and kind of reset it, and sometimes it would work for about 30 minutes. It would get the water scalding hot, and then it quit altogether. One time it was like boiling hot, and it had blown this inline thermal fuse, right, which runs right here to this thermostat. I just hardwired that in so I could take showers while me and my wife while we was camping with our kids. And but I never got it to run right. It would still blow when this fuse blowed, it stopped working altogether. And the problem was still there after I removed the fuse and hardwired it. It would still, sometimes it would turn on, sometimes it wouldn't. Sometimes the DSI light would come on, sometimes it wouldn't. Sometimes it just wouldn't work. Don't know. I haven't looked into it yet. I didn't have my multimeter on me at the time, so I haven't figured it out exactly what's going on with it, but I will. So that's one problem I've had. Not completely Grand Design's fault, but maybe the 110 side of it is. I'm not sure. So that was one problem. The next problem that I had with this Grand Design is it leaks water practically everywhere. I never had a camper that leaked water before. This is my first time having a camper that leaked water. And it's my most expensive camper, and it doesn't just leak water in one spot. So we'll talk about that a little bit. Here's the front door. Now this front door, if you're camping, it doesn't leak water. It's all right. But if you drive in the rain, you can see this top seal up here. It has a huge gap on this side. It's just not plumbed in right. It has a huge gap on this side and a little gap on this side. The seal doesn't sit up and get flush against the door frame on this side. It actually slides under it. And so when you're driving down the highway in the rain, you will get water in this door. Now let's talk about another water leak that I have. Some of these are pretty bad. This here is my back door for the toy hauler section. I'm pretty sure it leaks water. It's either that or a roof corner over there is leaking water, which I'll show you the problem up there in a minute. But if you open up this back door, give me a minute here, and drop it down, The seal is right here on the outside of it. And in the middle, it's not even sealed across this seam. If you look, you can see daylight right through it. It goes straight into my camper. I noticed it when I was looking for water. I was looking around the door on the inside with it closed, and I could see daylight throughout the corners of it. The corners aren't sealed across at all. And it's not just that corner. It's all of them. The corners aren't sealed. You can see daylight. If you're standing in the camper, you can see daylight from these corners standing inside the camper. This light was filled with water, I noticed after I bought it. Had a gap in the ceiling up here. So I went to try and, I can't remember, I was either taking this screw out or trying to tighten it up, one or the other. And I realized the head to the screw was broken from the screw itself completely. And they siliconed the head of the screw in there to make it look like it had a screw in it. So I still got to seal that, but I got done drying this light all out and the inside of that, so maybe that's some of my inside water problem, I don't know. But you go on in the toy hauler, and hopefully there's enough daylight we can see through these cracks from inside. So if you look up there in the corner, you can see daylight going right outside. Daylight. I can't get my camera over enough for this hole over here, but if we could, you'd see daylight through that hole over there. So that was pretty aggravating that I was having those problems. Brand new camper, I just bought it a couple months ago. Like I said, it's brand new camper. But that's not the most shocking part about having this brand new camper. Let me go ahead and climb up the ladder here, and I will show you some more problems that I'm having with this brand new camper. 1 second. All right. Here's the roof of my brand new camper, a couple months old. The sealant is tearing everywhere. Everywhere, it's wide open. This is the sealant around my ladder, wide open. The other side of the ladder, wide open. Crawl up a little further to the front of the ladder, wide open. The other side, wide open. All across this back seam, wide open. There's just cracks everywhere. And it's just really poorly sealed. So, if you look up here, first of all, I've had 3 campers. My dad has 2 campers. And I've never seen a camper with such a soft roof. Some spots, it feels like it doesn't have any, what are they called? Little rafter beams going across in between the pieces of plywood. You can feel the ends of the plywood and they just smush right down. There's a 2 pieces of plywood. This is the front near my front cap. These 2 pieces of plywood, they're not even touching. There's a gap all along here where this roof membrane is bubbled up, and they're not touching. So here's more of my beautiful sealant on this RV, all screwed up, gapped. 2 months old. Just bought this camper, I don't know, 2-3 months ago, maybe February or March. My front cap got holes in the sealant, splits in the sealant. On this side, I got anywhere that looks like they ran 2 different beads of sealant split in between them. So that's all split there. Brand new camper. Brand new. On my solar ready thing, all the sealant's all split around here. Brand new camper. Brand new. Not even 2 months old. A couple months old anyway. Front cap not sealed. Roof is soft. In some spots. In other spots the roof is fine, but I swear they didn't put rafters where the plywood ended. Doesn't make any sense to me. Also, the membrane where a couple of those bad sealing spots, the membrane is also loose. I'm trying to do this off the side of my camper, but here in this corner, the membrane is all soft. I don't know if that's because of water damage or not, but it's all not sealed down. Does the same thing all around the poorly sealed ladders. Let me jump down off of here. So basically, I'm pretty sure that my roof leaks. Now, I just sold my 2018 Springdale camper to buy this one. When I bought this one, I sold it like the week before, and that roof was still sealed up like it was brand new. So I don't know what the heck Grand Design has going on. That is a really poor bit of sealing that they had on this camper. Yeah, I noticed the back door, because there's water all in the bottom seam of the back door. When it was raining and we were camping, there's just a pool of water. It's got a little dovetail back there, and there was water all in it. So I don't know if it's because the poorly sealed roof, which there's more spots. I didn't show you all of them. It's everywhere. Everywhere they're sealing up on this roof, it's been compromised, and it's brand new. So I don't know if it's coming all the way down from the roof, or if it's the cracks in the back door that's leaking, or what it is. Front door leaks when you're driving. Water heater don't work, which may not be Grand Design's fault. I'm not sure yet. Haven't looked into it. This front compartment, it's the little things. This front compartment don't close. Don't close at all. You have to push it this way and push it past this seal on this side and push it closed like that, and then you can latch it. But it doesn't close on its own. So the reason I'm making this video is not because this stuff can't be fixed. It can be fixed, but it's aggravating when you pay a premium price, or in my income level is a premium price for a brand new camper. You wouldn't expect to see so many problems, and I bought brand new campers before. I haven't seen this bad of issues before. Matter of fact, my Keystone, which they dogged on over there at the Grand Design dealer, which would be McLean's RV in Oklahoma City, they was dogging on the old camper that I had, telling me how terrible it was, and I sold it and bought this one. I didn't have one issue with my old Keystone, but hey, whatever, good salesman, I guess. So these are the problems that I've had with it. Oh yeah, I had there was a bubble in one of the decals up here. There's a bubble right here in the decal, and that came apart brand new. I took it to the car wash and used the outdoor thing, tried to wash it, and in this one spot it just blew that bubble apart, screwed up my decal. But that's about it. So I'm really nervous about the roof. I've been on lots of camper roofs. My dad has too. He's got a Apex that's 31 foot, and he's got a little, I think a 20-foot Jayco, small Jayco. Both of those have solid roofs, really solid. If you get up on those roofs, you don't feel like your foot's going to go through them anywhere. This camper, I've also had my Springdale. It wasn't even advertised as a walkable roof, and it feels more solid than this roof. That Springdale, I didn't walk across it and feel like I was going to fall through the roof in some places. And it was just sealed better. It was just the roof construction. I can only imagine what's going on under there, but it feels like where the two pieces of plywood meet in a lot of spaces, they don't stick rafter right there to join the two pieces of plywood and support the edges, is what it feels like is going on up here. So that's about that. I've made some other little minor repairs. I really like this camper. The inside design is great. It's been really phenomenal. The fit and finish on the inside is great. It's a lot better than my Keystone was. The inside really sells you on these campers, but I'm really questioning the the build quality, especially when it comes to that roof, like I said. And whatever sealant they're using is not particularly good. The sealant I've been having a lot of problems with. So I don't know if it's a knockoff decor or what, but it is not a good RV sealant. And they cheaped out in a bad spot. So I mean, I have a brand new camper and it's already got leaks. That's terrible. Terrible. Terrible to have leaks on a brand new camper like this. So hopefully I can get with Grand Design and they'll make some of it right. If they don't, then I'll fix it all up myself and I'll never buy another product from them again. But hopefully they make it right and they fix this thing up for me. We will see. Other than that, I really like it. Tows great. The frame is really solid on this. It rusts, has a lot of rust in some spots for some reason. A lot of over the welds, it just didn't get coated good. Whatever they used to coat the frame with, they just didn't do a good enough job, or it was a poor material. I don't know. But I'm not worried about that because the frame seems pretty sturdy under this camper, sturdier than my other ones. The suspension is better welded to the frame than on my old campers. I have no problems, no concerns about, having suspension problems with this camper. It's nice and beefy. It looks real good. Adds to the weight, I'm sure, but that's a good place to have weight. I'm okay with that. So I really like that. Whatever that undermat material, that corrugated plastic board they have going throughout the underbelly of the camper, I was towing in the rain. That didn't get saturated. I wasn't dripping water out of there for days, so that's sealed up pretty good. I like that. Tows great. As far as at least the 24 MPR, tows really well. It seems like they did a really good job designing this camper, weight distribution, and where they put the wheels at on it. It's been real a dream to tow. You don't even need weight control with this camper. You got to have a bigger truck because it has kind of a lot of tongue weight, but it's a good towing camper. But that's my experience with Grand Design so far. Not too happy about it. I like the camper a lot, but I'm not happy with some of the workmanship on it. That's for sure. Hopefully they straighten it out for me. That's all I got. Thanks for listening.